Okay, so today's video was a bit of a different one again. I'm really enjoying doing these stood up videos at the moment where I just stand in front of the camera and talk for a little bit. So I'm going to do a couple more of these. There will be obviously some vlogs this week, but today I just really fancy doing one of these videos, you know, standing in front of the camera and talking to you guys. I tweeted earlier about what do you want me to do a video, you know, what do you want me to do a video about, and I got a few things back. One stood out that I feel is quite important and potentially the actual idea of the video could benefit a lot of people. So that's the one I chose. I'm not going to name any names, I'm not going to say who posted it, just in case they don't want me to say their name. But judging by the title of the video, you probably know what this is about. So today I wanted to talk about how I stay positive, how I motivate myself, and how I stay away from depression. Now, depression is becoming a more common thing for some reason this year, and the last couple of years it's become more and more of a common thing that you see, and especially younger people. And I think that shouldn't be the case. You know, your childhood up until, you know, from when you were born up until at least 20 should be the most fun years of your life. So those 20 years that you've got on this earth, they shouldn't be taken seriously. And you shouldn't take everything seriously. It should be a good laugh, some good fun, to make friends, to, you know, learn new random things, to just have fun with it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So personally, when I was younger, I always tried to stay positive. Just generally. I don't know whether I specifically knew I was doing that. I don't know whether it was just a subconscious thing, but I always tried to stay positive and happy throughout the whole of my childhood. And I succeeded. By the time I got to secondary school, caring what people think wasn't really part of my day-to-day life. By that time, I'd kind of mastered the fact that I was like, you know what, people's opinions they don't matter to me. They're not something that I take to heart. So, you know, people do have opinions of me, obviously, of course. Everyone has an opinion of someone. Not everyone is going to love you for who you are. That's just a way of life. But it's the way you go around that and the way you tell yourself that it's not the end of the world. People will hate you. People won't, you know, not everyone's going to like you for who you are. That's just a way of life. Not everyone likes me for who I am. But I deal with it. And that's just the way it goes. I don't like everyone in the world. That's just how it is. So without further ado, let's start this video and let's overcome this together. Let go. Okay, so the first step that I like to do, which is to do with like self-motivation and staying positive, is I'll say this a lot, I know I do, I really do. Do something you love, all the time. Do something you love on a day-to-day basis. So that doesn't matter, it doesn't matter what it is, it could be absolutely anything. If you enjoy gaming, get on your Xbox or your PS4 or whatever the hell you want to play on, that's down to preference really. Get on your console and just play games, and if you want to start sort of making money from it, or you want to, you know, pursue a career in it, get yourself on YouTube or Vimeo or absolutely anything, or live stream on Twitch, loads of random things, film yourself playing games, anything. Just do something you love on a day-to-day basis. I love doing photography, so I go out and take photos on my phone, on my camera, while I'm vlogging, loads of stuff like that. I absolutely love doing YouTube, so I do that on a day-to-day basis. And on top of that, the work I do, I'm surrounded by a passion, by my own passion. I'm surrounded by it. Everything I do, I'm passionate about, and that's what I wanted in life when I was at school. I went through school, English, went along with it, but didn't really enjoy it at all. Maths, didn't really enjoy it at all. Science, didn't understand any of it, and didn't really enjoy it. So that's 3 subjects that I didn't really enjoy, and they're the core ones anyway. I decided to put sort of maybe 20-30% of my effort into those subjects, so 10% of my effort per subject. And then the creative subjects that I chose, like media, music, graphics, I put the rest in. So that 70% that's left, I put that into all of these subjects. And that's because I had a pure passion for doing that. I love going into graphics and designing random, you know, flyers or CD covers or posters or, you know, anything like that. I loved doing that. I love doing media, going to mess around with the cameras, learning new things about photography and film, what shutter speeds to use, what ISO means, everything, loads of random things. I loved learning about it. And then it goes to music, and I've always had a massive passion for music, whether that's listening to music or playing music. I play drums, have done since I was about 8 years old or something like that. I've been playing them for around 10 years, I would have thought now anyway. And I loved going to music. Me and Mitch, I've mentioned in a couple of vlogs, Mitch has a massive passion for music. He's an awesome guy, an amazing guitarist, and we used to play a lot together in music. In fact, we were kind of known as the musical duo in school. So that's the kind of effort that I put in. I put in all my effort to those things because that's what made me happy. You know, so life's all about being happy. It really is. Why wouldn't you want to be happy? You're living in such a beautiful world. There's trees around you, there's nature, there's amazing people, people smiling. There may not be everyone smiling and everyone may not be amazing, but just take everything in. And it's realising that makes your life so much easier and so much more positive. So that's basically what I do. Now, the main thing about being positive and being motivated is having control over your thoughts. As soon as you've mastered the control of your thoughts and your brain and your mind, that's when things get interesting. And you know, it sounds impossible. It sounds really hard to take control of yourself like that, but it's not. You see, the thing is, what most people don't realise, you are who you are because of yourself. And that should be the way it is. You have complete control over yourself, regardless of what you think. You know, you go to a shop, you go, I want some sweets, I don't know what I want, and then you find some sweets, you like them, you pick them up, you buy them. That's the thought that you've made. You've gone, you know what, I want to do that. I'm going to get those, and I'm going to go home, I'm going to eat them, I'm going to enjoy it. That's what you've done. It may be very simple, but that's what you've done. You make decisions every single day, all the time. You go, right, I'm tired, I need to go to bed. I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to feel fresh. That's another decision you've made. The same applies to being positive. You've got to have the right mindset. If you don't have the right mindset, you're just going to stick to square one, and that's it. You know, I wake up in the morning and sometimes I feel a bit shit. I'm not going to lie, I feel a bit shit, and that's just the way it goes. Sometimes you wake up and you're not having a good day. But it's up to you to turn that round. It's up to you to make sure that you have a good day by the end of it. So you can sit there and you can moan and groan and you can make yourself feel even worse, or you can go, you know what, today's a beautiful day, the sun's shining, the weather's beautiful, people are amazing, I've got a great life ahead of me, what can I do today? You do that and you instantly go, alright, yeah, I feel a bit positive, I feel a bit better now, I feel more positive, I feel like I can go out and do something. And then the next step, which is something that people just sort of skip past and don't even think about, breakfast. Sounds really strange, but it's true. So I get up, I'm feeling a bit crap, you know, I used to have a coffee, kind of helped, made me feel a bit more energetic, but that was about it. Now I have that Huel stuff, which, to be fair, has done me absolute wonders the last, sort of week or so. I get up in the morning, I'll go downstairs, I'll chop up a few bananas, make basically a smoothie out of this Huel stuff, I'll down that, and then I'll just feel positive, and I'll feel energetic and ready for the day. Whatever the day has ahead of me, I'll be ready for it. And that's because I've got enough energy within me to go and do what I want to do. You know, so your body is like a car, basically. So you get a car and you've got to fill it with fuel. You know, that's a well-known thing. If you have a car and no fuel, you're not going to go anywhere. It's the same with your body. You have your body and you have food. If you don't have any food in your body or water, you're not going anywhere. You're just going to sit there all day feeling like crap. So positivity is so many different things. Motivation is so many different things. It's to do with how well you eat, it's to do with how well your mind is, and it's to do with how positive you want to be. And there's a couple of main steps that I'm going to list them off right now. So you want to feel positive. What's the first step? The very first step is wanting to be positive. It's the pure want and need to be a positive person and to be motivated at what you want to do, regardless of what that is. Step 2, surround yourself with people that back you 100%, that have your back, and that, you know, want your passions to flow through you all the time. That's the second step. And step 3 is very simple. Do what you want to do all the time, regardless of whether it earns you money, regardless of whether you know, other people don't particularly like you doing it. If you are happy doing what you're doing, then do it. You know, a lot of people say to me, you know, I want to do this, but my parents want me to become a doctor or, you know, a mathematician or a teacher. And it's like, if you don't want to do that, what would you rather do? Would you rather live the rest of your life doing something you don't want to do, or would you rather live the rest of your life doing something you love and have a passion for? That's the two choices. You select one or the other. That's how it goes. You are the government of your body. You are in complete control of who you are and who you will be forever. That's a well-known fact. People don't quite understand that, and it's taken me a long time to figure that one out. So it took me ages to figure out that I'm in control of myself. I can do what I want, when I want. I know that sounds a bit weird and stupid, but it's true. And I say you can do what you want when you want. That is to a certain extent. Obviously, you can't just go around blowing up cars and stealing things from shops, but to a certain extent, you can do what you want when you want. But being motivated is all about loving what you do, or at least, at the very least, if you're feeling ill-motivated for school, or you're feeling ill-motivated for, you know, something you don't particularly enjoy, then the end goal is always the same. So you're doing all this dirty work and all this, you know, you're slaving your arse off just to get to this end game. You're slaving your arse off just to get to this end goal. And this end goal is ideally what you want to do or who you want to be. So no matter what this bit is, you've got to get through it. Whether you crawl, you walk, or you run, you've got to get through this first bit to become who you want to be. So that's your motivation. Your motivation is who you want to be. That's all you've got to think. I want to be this person, so I've got to do all this to get to this point. I've got to crawl through all this dirt to get to the sunrise. That's what you've got to do. I've got to walk up this hill to see this view. I've got to do this to do that. That's your motivation right here. So who you want to be, what you want to do, and what you want to do for the rest of your life is determined by what you're willing to put in right now. So the amount of work you're willing to put in right this very moment is going to determine what happens tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that, and so on and so forth. The amount of work you put in right now determines what you want to do for the rest of your life. So push yourself and don't stop if it gets hard. That's where everyone goes wrong. If it starts getting hard, that's when you know you're starting to push forward. David Bowie said something absolutely phenomenal. Listen to this clip now.
Always go a little further into the water than you feel you're capable of being in. Go a little bit out of your depth, and when you don't feel that your feet are quite touching the bottom, you're just about in the right place to do something exciting.
When you're finding that things get harder, when you're finding that things aren't as easy as you determined they'd be, that's when you start to learn, and that's when you start to grow. You know, I never started learning how to film until I started doing projects that were really hard to do and that really pushed me personally. That's when I started to learn how to film. Same with editing. I never learned properly how to edit until I was doing projects that were quite tasking and really did push me mentally, physically, personally, everything. That's when you really start to learn, is when things start to get difficult. But a lot of people will give up, and giving up is not an option. Giving up will never, ever be an option. So in order to stay positive, in order to stay motivated, you have to keep pushing. Because everyone, every single person, unless you have it unbelievably lucky, which is very, very slim, the chances of that are just nigh impossible. Every single person has to graft. They have to do a lot of work just to get to this point. Do you think Steve Jobs really just woke up one day and went, you know what, I'm going to make an iPhone and then I'm going to sell it to millions of people? No. That was his idea, but to get to that point where he was selling that to millions of people, he had to do an unbelievable amount of work. The same thing happens with pretty much anyone going through any business or any lifetime. They all have to graft to do what they want to do. So unless you want to work in Asda for the rest of your life, or McDonald's, or anywhere like that, which is perfectly fine. If that's what you want to do, go for it. But if you want to do something, you know, that's creative, or you're running your own business, or you're working for a big company, or you've got a lot of pressure on, or something where you have to do a lot of work, then grafting is the only way to get. Steven Spielberg, one of the biggest directors of film in the whole film industry at the moment, he started off as a runner. And a runner basically is pretty much the film set's bitch. So he would have run around, made teas, made coffees, given them to the actors, you know, said, oh, you know, what else do you want now? What can I get you now? What can I do now? And then he built his way up. He started to learn. He started to question the people that were on film. He started to question the people that were directors of photography. He started to do all that and then learn and learn and learn. And now he's known as renownedly one of the biggest directors in the film industry. And that's all just from putting the work in. The whole of your life depends on how much you're willing to put into it. That's how you get over negativity and ill motivation. And those two as a whole should hopefully, if you have the right mindset, get you over depression. I hope this video helped. I hope it made sense. It certainly makes sense to me, but if it doesn't, let me know and I'll give it another crack. But yeah, that's today. That's what I've done. I've actually really enjoyed doing this video. I hope it helps. I really do. If you have any questions or any queries, or you want to talk to me about anything, feel free to email me, tweet me, you know, message, whatever. Just send me a message or whatever you want to do. Everything you need to know is in the description. Go check it out. Again, the giveaway's got 3 days left, I think, if that. Go check that out with your chance to win a few awesome gifts. And yeah, I hope this video helped. I'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to smash that sub button, smash that like button, and if you're feeling like it, share the video. It might just help someone, you never know. But I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.